good spoken English in broadcasting, busy or lack broadcasting, and therefore, in addition, any broadcaster who intends to make a success of the noble profession must be able to communicate his message, whether on radio or television, in simple, unambiguous language. The lecturer explained that broadcasting requires a lot of hard work, long hours, versatility, and the constant improvement of one's craft to be on top of one's game always. Bisi Olatilo, who has successfully straddled radio and television broadcasting for decades, with a lot of laurels to show for it, is the chairman of Biscon Communications, producers of the Bisi Olatilo Show, Nigeria's longest-running privately produced television magazine program, publisher of BOS International Magazine, and owner of Biscon Press. He told the students that it was a proper grounding he and other colleagues got under the tutelage of master broadcasters like Dr. Christopher Kolade, Ikenna Ndaguba, and others, which accounts for the great strides they have made in broadcasting today. Among others, Bisi Olatilo singled out John Momo, whose channels are indeed rated as the best TV in Africa today. Bisi Olatilo also paid glowing tribute to Shola Amoli, the Director General of NTA, Siene Orwell Brown, Ruth Benemese Opia, Bimbo Oloyede, Ronke Ayuba, Patrick Oke, Yinka Craig of Blessed Memories, and Abike Dabiri Erewa, among broadcasters who showed exceptional commitment to the true ideals of broadcasting, refusing to be carried away by the glamour of the business. Although Bisi Olatilo hailed the deregulation of the broadcasting sector, of which is a worthy beneficiary, he submitted that it has led to a corresponding decline in the standard of broadcasting. He therefore advised new generation broadcasters thrown up by the deregulation process to pay less attention to the glamour of the job and accord proper diligence and professionalism to their craft. Above all, the new generation broadcasters should jettison the tendency to sound unnatural in their presentation.
The deregulation of the broadcasting sector, which resulted in the sharp increase in the number of radio and television stations across the country, to my mind, has led to a corresponding decline in the standard of professionalism that is prevalent in the industry today. Dear students, ladies and gentlemen, it demands long hours. It entails that you constantly improve on your craft. It requires that you must be versatile. And most importantly, for you to be a good broadcaster, you must be able to express yourself in impeccable English.
The lecturer reminded aspiring broadcasters among the students to endeavor to hone their skills at the FRCN Training School and the NTA Television College JOS to properly prepare them for the challenges of the very competitive broadcasting environment.
In my humble opinion, for you to be a good broadcaster with the ability to communicate good message without difficulty, constant training to improve on your craft is key and imperative. In those days, the FRCN Training School provided the platform for the training of broadcasters, ditto the Television College in JOS. These institutions are still in existence, and any one of you desirous of making a career broadcasting can enroll in these schools and undergo the necessary tutelage and training.
Before he drew the curtain on his lecture, Bisi Olatilo kept the students up to speed with important information about the switchover to digital broadcasting from the analog system, which has been in operation in Nigeria in the last 50 years. According to him, when the switchover finally comes, will bring about a marked improvement in the quality of programs broadcast, as well as program sources, and program sources will increase. Indeed, the advantages of digitization are limitless, and it will improve and properly prepare Nigeria for global competitiveness. Has set the deadline of 17th of June 2015 for the switchover to digital broadcasting, Bisi Olatilo concluded.
The digitization of the analog television system, which has been in operation in Nigeria in the last 50 years, is a revolutionary technology which will leverage on such features as high definition television standards, multicasting in standard television, and data transmission. When the switchover finally takes effect, programming sources will increase, digital video technology will be advanced, broadcast capabilities will be enhanced as well. With digital television, there will be a more efficient way of broadcasting on television because it will free up the airwaves for maximum use.
In his own remarks, the head of the Department of English and Literary Studies, University of Lagos, Dr. Adeyemi Daramola, who eulogized Professor Segun Awonusi, in whose honor the program was organized as the best phonetician in Nigeria and indeed Africa, also praised the students for their foresight in organizing the intellectually stimulating program. Dr. Adeyemi Daramola requested multilingual broadcaster Bisi Olatilo to exhibit his linguistic prowess in the 3 major Nigerian languages, which he obliged them to the delights of all who hailed Bisi Olatilo endlessly.
I want to make a pronouncement almost as an oracle. Whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, and it's almost unarguable that Professor Segun Awonusi is the best phonetician we have in Nigeria today. It is a great privilege that we have Mr. Bisi Latilo, and I want him to impress on all of us from now till eternity. So I will request him to please stand up and say a few words in Tilo, please.
If you ndị Igbo nọ n'etiti a na-aga akwụkwọ ebe a na-ekpere n'ekpere ọ ga-adị olu mma o. Mana ka unu na-ekpere Naịjirịa ekpere ka ọ na-adị mma. Ma Naịjirịa dị mma ọma maka gị na gị, maka mụ na gị. Unu na-ege na-ekpere Naịjirịa ekpere ka ọ wee na-aga. Ka ọ hụrụ Naịjirịa aka. Ha sawara nkwa. Kuyi maka ku tobi ne ji. Kuyi ma Allah godiya. Abin da za mu rinka yi. An kuka tashi kuyi kai ma Najeriya addu'a domin Najeriya ta mu cika Allah da bai ta faɗin Allah da. En tí mo fẹ́ bẹ̀ wá nísìnyí ni pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run pé bá jí láàárọ̀ tí mo sọ ní gbogbo àwọn èdè tẹ́ gbọ́ ni pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run ẹ máa gbàdúrà fún Nàìjíríà. Tó pé tó bá dáa fún Nàìjíríà yóò dáa fún wa náà. Àdúrà tá a máa gbà nù yóò dáa fún gbogbo yín o. Ẹ kórè oko délé.
A well-known expert in phonetics and English language, Dr. Adenike Akinjobi, through her representative, delivered a detailed background information on phonetics and why Nigerian students have a phobia for the course.
Phonetics is a course of study for all students of English, especially those emphasizing the language aspects. It is the scientific study of speech sounds. There are 3 traditional sounds developed in recent times. Of course, in the realm of phonetics, we're talking about the universal realms when it has to do with sounds, because sounds is universal. But when we talk about phonology, then we are talking about systems of particular languages. And of course, here we're talking about the pair sound, that in articulatory phonetics, you're talking about the organs that are involved in the production of the sound, that the 2 lips come together in the production of this sound.
The main event of the day was a phonetics competition, which featured 6 students as contestants. They attempted to demonstrate to the audience and their lecturers how much they have been able to assimilate in the phonetic and phonology course. The main task here was for them to pronounce in the correct way the words already transcribed for them. This reminds me of my days at the language laboratory in the FRCN in Ikoyi, Lagos, 35 years ago, when our English had to be properly touched up and all the rough edges thoroughly cleaned out. That's the first step every aspiring broadcaster must go through, and this cannot be circumvented or short-circuited in any way. Reminds me here with nostalgic memory. I remember here with nostalgic memory, and thanks to God for her good life, Mrs. Beju Alade, the mother of Dari Art Alade, who was a lecturer at the time.
The form of a word which is used when the word is pronounced in isolation is known as the
part of speech.
Okay, no, that's not right. That's not right. It's known as the citation form. The citation form. Okay, look at that word and please pronounce it for us.
Epitome.
Epitome. Mystery voice. Mystery voice, please. Thank you. Your pronunciation was correct. A round of applause for him.
Edeki, the first runner-up and the third prize winner, were presented with a plaque, laptop, and money. Before the interactive session with Professor Segun Awunisi, in whose honor the phonetics competition was organized, his citation that revealed his extensive scholarly adventure in the Ivy League institutions across the world, with the last was read by Zue Moaka. Although a student in the University of Lagos, she has all the potentials to be a great broadcaster tomorrow.
Professor Awunisi took his first step in post-secondary education by attending Unified College of Education, Ondo campus from 1971 to 1973, where he paid special attention to phonetics and pronunciation. He bagged the NC with specialization in the teaching of English and later continued his tertiary institution at a number of universities. University of Lagos, where he obtained the BA Honors degree in English, Stanford University, San Francisco, United States of America, City of London Polytechnic, now London Metropolitan University, and University College London, United Kingdom, where he obtained a PhD in phonetics.
In a simulated studio environment, with two presenters jointly piloting an interview program that had Professor Segun Awunisi as a special guest, he was asked a number of questions on his life journey and related areas. Professor Segun Awunisi thanked the students because, according to him, it's an integral part of the English language, which is an inevitable tool for any aspiring broadcaster.
You can still be yourself, even when you use another person's language. We cannot take the Nigerianness out of you, nor can anyone take it out of me. I'm basically a Nigerian. You've listened to some of my friends, Bisi Olatilo, I love listening to him. Ademola Adeoye, I love listening. So for me, applied phonetics, much better than phonetics, because applied phonetics is pronunciation. I thank you.
The vote of thanks was given by Queen Odua, the President, National Association of Students of English and Literary Studies, University of Lagos chapter, which organized the phonetics competition.
Reading, they say, makes a man. So I think it boils down to student cultivating habit of reading extensively and intensively. This, I think, will go a long way in helping students progress in academically.
Oh, great. That students can recognize that one has imparted some knowledge of phonetics and phonology over time. So for me, it's great that students do appreciate their teachers. Yes, it's great. And I'm happy about it. I'm happy for myself and also happy for the students.
Prince Bisi Olatilo's 50th anniversary as a broadcaster and BOS at 25. What we are celebrating. We are celebrating 50 years of broadcasting excellence, 25 years of the BOS legacy. As the countdown begins to a double-barrel celebration like no other, we pause to reflect on a journey that began 5 decades ago. One driven by passion, professionalism, and a deep commitment to storytelling that informs, entertains, and uplifts. We are not merely commemorating the milestone of 50 years in broadcasting and 25 years of the Bisi Olatilo Show. We are celebrating a legacy, one that has reshaped the media landscape in Nigeria and beyond. We are celebrating the credibility and consistency in the media industry. From his early days behind the microphone as a newsreader and multilingual broadcaster, Prince Olatilo displayed an extraordinary gift of communication that transcended boundaries. His fluency in English, Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo gave him an unmatched versatility that helped him connect with diverse audiences across Nigeria's ethnic and regional lines. We are celebrating the birth and evolution of the Bisi Olatilo Show, BOS, a media brand that started with modest resources but a grand vision. What began as a culturally rich lifestyle magazine program quickly grew into a full-fledged media powerhouse. BOS became the go-to platform for showcasing Nigeria's vibrant culture, politics, and social life. We brought events into homes before live streaming was a trend. We brought the glitz of high society, the gravitas of political discourse, and the elegance of top-tier weddings to your screens with depth and dignity. We are celebrating a revolution in event coverage. For 25 years, BOS has led the charge in transforming event reporting in Nigeria. We didn't just cover events, we curated experiences. From the corridors of policy making to the glamour of red carpets, from intellectual summits to spiritual crusades, from birthday parties to state banquets, we've been there telling the stories that matter. Our cameras have captured history in the making. Our voices have amplified the sounds of celebration and change. We are celebrating a brand that has traversed the length and breadth of Nigeria. From Lagos to Sokoto, from Calabar to Kano, from the South-South Creeks to the Northeast Savannah. We've taken our lenses to all 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, beaming the essence of Nigeria's diversity to the world. But we didn't stop there. Our brand has crossed the borders of Nigeria, taking the BOS experience to the global stage, covering Nigerian events in London, New York, Dubai, Johannesburg, and beyond. We are celebrating endurance in an industry where many have come and gone. Broadcasting is a demanding craft, and only the truly resilient survive. For Prince Bisi Olatilo to remain active and relevant for half a century, adapting to changing technologies, audience preferences, and content trends is no small feat. Even today, BOS continues to innovate, embracing digital platforms, nurturing young talents, and staying ahead of the curve. We are celebrating the people and the partnerships, the loyal viewers, the supporting sponsors, the dignitaries and celebrities, the clients who trusted us with their events, the team members who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, and the institutions that stood by us. BOS is more than a show. It is a family, a movement, and a symbol of media excellence. In sum, we are celebrating a glorious past, an impactful present, and a promising future. We are celebrating a media institution that has not only reported history, but has become a part of it. We are celebrating 50 years of Prince Bisi Olatilo's unmatched contribution to broadcasting and 25 years of BOS's groundbreaking journey. This is more than an anniversary. It is a national celebration, a toast to relevance, reinvention, and resilience, a toast to legacy.
Hello again, folks. I greet you. Welcome to Biscon TV News. Newspaper headliners. Okay, the newspapers are here, the stories in them too. We share these stories with you, give context to those stories, expecting that you go out there, buy your favorite paper and sort the stories, and read the context, just so you stop gut reactions. I am Jones Hussein. My co-anchor is Tumi Olowe. Tumi, I greet you.
Thank you, Citizen John.
So the papers are here. Let's go through the headlines one by one. The first paper is This Day. Presidency, democracy not under threat, rejects claim of one-party state.
Well, I doubt if democracy is under threat because there are still parties in Nigeria and they've not been banned or prohibited from carrying out their activities.
Yeah.
What those parties should do is actually look inward and then improve internal democracy to attract people to them. Because, I mean, there are so many people that are against the present government in power. That means they have ready people to attract into their parties. All they need to do is just make it attractive and transparent.
But do you remember that the PDP at the time had people defecting to it?
Yes.
Of course, it's no longer news that chairman of the PDP then, is late now, said the PDP was going to rule for 60 years, if you remember. So we're back there. Okay, so another headline. Sanwo-Olu to Obi, you fueled Nigeria's poverty, lack moral right to criticize federal government.
As a matter of fact, most of our governors don't have the right, if shame is still a thing in our society, to talk about bad governance. We've had classes of governors from 1999. We had the class of 99, we had the class of 2011.
Name them.
So we even say only one set of governors had ruled states in Nigeria. That means you have 36 governors that we can call them. And if each one of them had to drop their report card, I mean, it's not. And that's one thing we keep forgetting in Nigeria. We deliberately assume that we run a unitary government, but we run a federal government, and we know how powerful our governors are. If governors have also contributed their quota to development, the GDP of Nigeria and the state of affairs in Nigeria would not be the way it is today. So, yeah, Sanwo-Olu is right, because Obi was a governor for 2 terms, that is 8 years.
They did not organize local government elections.
Let's even put that by
Can you wish that away?
No, I'm not saying we should wish it away. I'm just saying
a Democrat would do that.
We should do that. What are the developmental indices in Anambra? I mean, the present governor of Anambra had to come out that. I mean, that means verdict on the tenure of Peter Obi. But
well, the immediate past governor before him, Obiano,
also said, contrary to the claims that he left no debt, that he didn't pay contractors that rendered service to. But Nigerians, we have this habit of not being individual critical thinkers. We just want to follow them up. So it's easy to run any agenda in our society, and that's what is giving our politicians the temerity to ignore their past performance and become saints after they leave office.
The next paper would be the Punch, and the lead story is this: defections. To me, PDP calls emergency meeting to halt Hurricane Tinubu.
Yeah, I think the emergency meeting is very expedient now. I think the number one agenda is to resolve their leadership crisis.
Internal
party leadership crisis. All their court cases should be withdrawn, and they should sit down and resolve their differences and get the party functioning again. If they can get that done, I see them coming back alive. But it's just reacting to people defecting to the presidency without having any concrete plan to get their party back on track. We'll just keep having these headlines in the newspaper.
Okay, this one. U.S. report calls out Nigeria's trade barriers, port corruption. Was in the news too.
Yes. we can't deny the level of corruption at our courts. But trade barrier, really, no.
Not at this time.
Nigeria is actually a dumping ground for most of these foreign countries. We import almost everything that we use. So it's not as if we have to,
including toothpicks.
we have to open borders again for food stuff, so to bring down food inflation. So if US is going about trade barriers, really, maybe goods coming from them are more expensive than the alternative that we are using. But telephone, we produce practically nothing in the country.
Yeah. To me, I relate the story that broke not too long ago. 2 Ghanaian ladies were arrested for attempting to import the illicit drug referred to as loud into Nigeria. But here this one. NDLEA seizes 1 billion naira drugs in 80-room hotel raid.
You see, our security agency...
Are we in trouble?
We are. Our security agencies need to understand the society and find a way to carry out the operations in such a way that the criminals trying to fight back would not be using their lapses as propaganda against them. You know, we've had complaints about NDLEA, EFCC storming hotels and stuff like that. People complaining that those
they are abridging people's rights.
But the truth is there are a whole lot of criminal activities
going
on in those places. So, you know, nobody is complaining about this one. They must have carried out that operation in such a way that it has left no room for anybody to complain. And we can see the results.
One expects the hotel to come out and give the lie to the NDLEA claim.
No, there's no lie there. These are physical things. They were there. It's not as if they were there and they were in large numbers. Photographs were taken, records were kept in black and white. So the hotel can't come out to complain. Probably the hotel has failed to do its own due diligence and this should be a warning to other hotels too. You don't want to become an accessory to such criminal enterprise.
But I deliberately asked if we were in trouble because if you remember, Nigeria started out by being a transit camp. Today we are a hub.
This one actually was in transit. We were supposed to be heading to Saudi Arabia. This hall. Though we have become users too.
Oh yeah.
So it's a big problem. We have spoken about the addiction to illicit abuse of substances in our primary and secondary schools. And these are the kind of people that are feeding those
you know, I talked about loud a while back. It will be too loud.
Actually, this hall is Canadian loud.
Too loud for our system.
What was seized from this raid is Canadian loud. What the amount mentioned in the report.
This next story is not necessarily loud to me, but it's jarring. You know, Ondo doctor and others face charges over abortion for 10-year-old victim.
There are a
10-year-old abortion.
There are a whole lot of. If you stay close to reality in Nigeria, to the grassroots, you hear a whole lot of stories, you see a whole lot of things, and you'll be amazed.
Sometimes you wonder if most of these stories we read about are necessarily true.
They are more than true. During the COVID,
a 10-year-old
during the COVID lockdown, you know,
abortion.
One has stayed. One had no choice but to stay around the local area, as in one's locality. Nobody was going to work, so you know, hanging out on the street and listening to gist that one would have gone to work and then just come back and sleep. I was just like, are you saying this thing happens on my street. I was looking like a JJC. But the truth is, this thing actually happened. If you hear stories, we are used to play ball. In secondary school, there were incidences of adults running after all these small girls, secondary school girls. So it's
10-year-old pregnant.
Yes, it's a big
and if somebody who calls himself a medical doctor would undertake to.
If you check our streets, our inner streets, you see a whole lot of young girls that are single mothers already.
Children giving birth to children.
Yes.
Okay, how about this? Federal government targets 70% local pharmaceutical production.
It will be nice. That's going to bring down the cost of medicine. It will also encourage research and development and also create jobs. Most of our medical
and STEM, maybe medical tourism.
And of course attract medical tourism is 2 ways. It can be in or out. But it provides job. It also gives the people studying these courses, medicine, pharmacy, nursing, the assurance that there will be good jobs waiting for them when they leave school. So it's a good move in the right direction.
The Daily Sun is here. The next story, the lead story I should say. NASIMA, OPS, that's Organized Private Sector, expressed worry over poverty level protection.
It's a projection. So that means we have time.
But they offer short-term measures.
Yeah. Short-term measures, but in the long run, productive activities are the thing that are going to make this projection just projection. We have to go into manufacturing, production. We sell most of the farm produce are even produced in Nigeria. We sell them in their raw form. So there's no reason why we can't have investment in those spheres. I was reading a report, I think over the weekend, about the need to provide storage facilities for farm produce in Nigeria. A whole lot of, we lose more than 40% of our farm produce. There is a whole lot of work and investment to be done in those areas. So, and it's not a function of government alone. It's a function of our endowed individuals and respective governments at different levels. We've seen what Dangote has done with his petroleum refinery. Though he has invested in cement and a whole lot of other, but that petroleum refinery is making a whole lot of difference in the Nigerian society. So people that are also
at least the refinery is triggering the price war, which we expect,
and it is also signaling to other investors that maybe there is hope for investment to thrive in Nigeria. So if more Nigerians, let's even start with that, if more Nigerians are also now putting their money where their mouth is, it's not just about complaining. If you traverse the Lagos-Ibadan expressway, you see a whole lot of factories springing up on both sides of the road.
I heard that.
But there are more of foreign investors than Nigerian investors. We also, apart from complaining about the bad state of the economy of Nigeria,
after all, the saying, every cloud has a silver lining is playing out here.
So if those foreign investors can come and start investing in production, putting up factories in Nigeria, Nigerians too should try and look at what those people are saying.
And enabling us to export again.
And definitely.
That's the only way to save the national currency.
Because now, for example, I heard that a whole lot of people that are into importation of sanitary wares are already diverting their investment into other businesses because these foreign investors are coming to start manufacturing those porcelain wares in the country. So there is hope that production can
resume
in
my country.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Tinubu Wike working on Fubara's return, says Tompoli. Did you see that coming?
Well, with the statement by Wike that the president saved Fubara, what he wanted was for him to be impeached. And that state of emergency saved that because it truncated whatever plan the legislators had for Fubara. But the most important thing is we Nigerians should be cautious in taking sides with politicians. They will always find it's their own interest that matters. Now, Fubara is holding meetings with everybody and they are reaching a compromise. Whereas there's still some people on the sideline that are saying, no, don't do that. Don't. Some people are just, they don't have any stake in this thing, and they don't care what happens.
Yeah.
But these people are resolving, and I think it's good for River State.
Okay, the next story is not intended to make you feel sad, you know. Children for sale, here it is, and this is happening in my state, Akwa Ibom. Children for sale. Traffickers lay siege, lure parents to trade kids in Akwa Ibom.
You see,
some would tell you it's the economy that's giving rise to this madness.
There are a whole lot of madness going on in our society. There are people hiding under NGOs, motherless babies and everything involved in this kind of activity. It's not only in Bayelsa State.
Yeah.
Somebody was caught in Lagos.
Akwa Ibom.
Somebody was caught recently in Lagos State, operating, hiding under having a motherless baby's home, involved in this.
And whereas he or she is running a baby factory.
There are baby factories almost all over the country. And the truth is, most of these things are done in the open. You now be wondering, maybe this person had offended some people or did not pay the usual people they're supposed to be paid. Because you'll still be surprised that tomorrow, even in the same state, we will see another baby factory that has been running for more than 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah.
So the question is, how have they existed for so long without anybody?
Why now?
Why now?
All right. Plateau, Benue crisis. Over 80 communities under terrorist control, alleges right groups. You have heard that in Plateau, for instance, over 64 communities have been occupied by these terrorists, and they have changed the names of these communities.
Well,
that
I mean, these Plateau and Benue. Is a talent to the Nigerian armed forces to ensure that such such situations are eradicated. Well, I'm not on ground, so one can't really dispute the claim of the right group, but I'm also skeptical when these right groups come up, because during the height of the Boko Haram insurgency, you would go to Borno and you will not get an hotel room to book. They were all booked because what we've also come to understand is these right groups also thrive in these chaos. So the Nigerian government should also put a searchlight on these right group while they are also attending to the insinuation or reports that they are getting.
Okay. Federal government dismisses fear over economy, insists Nigeria well positioned to withstand global uncertainties.
Well, like we said some minutes back, we will scaremonger ourselves. The economy is bad. But foreigners are coming in to invest in our country. Regardless. That means there's something they are seeing. So we need to take a step back and ask ourselves, these people coming to put in their own money in the country, what are they seeing that we are not seeing? This American bank that is asking for a banking license must have seen something.
Okay.
So we should tone down our negativity a bit and let's look at these people coming into the country to establish their factories. What are they saying? There must be something that they are saying.
All right. And this one, Bayelsa government pro-Tinubu group trade words over shooting at mega rally. I want to read the details. And
well, for me, the police are supposed to be on top of this. Who are the shooters? At least get one of them. We need to start meting out consequences to misbehavior. That is the only way to reduce such occurrences. It's not a do or die affair. Let them do their own rally. You to go do your own rally. It's a democracy. You can't force people. I mean, you sell your party to them. To belong to you.
Yeah. Okay. There are two picture stories on the front page of the Daily Sun, but the one that attracts me the more is that showing the federal government's delegation to the burial of Pope Francis at the Vatican in Rome. Shows Archbishop of Sokoto Diocese, Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, Minister of State Foreign Affairs Ambassador Bianca Odimegwu Ojukwu, President of the Senate and leader of the delegation, Godswill Akpabio, and Catholic Archbishop Lucius Iwejuru Ugoji at the burial.
Nigeria was represented by the Senate President and the Foreign Affairs. Yeah. Okay. No. Minister of State Foreign Affairs. Yes. The next paper, New Telegraph, is here. LCCI, that's the lead story. Revenue targets imposed on federal government agencies strangulating investments. Revenue the targets set. The way for us out of this dilemma is for those tax bills to be passed. We, as out of 2022, the tax to GDP ratio for Nigeria was 7.9%. That is low for a country with the population that. What it means is that tax only contributes 7.9 to our GDP. And this is why we are exposed to the vagaries of international oil price. Once the oil price starts dropping, we start catching cold. And the reality on ground is we need to move away from that. Non-oil revenue has to be increased. Now, the tax reform law is going to take revenue collection activities away from all those government agencies and just place it on federal revenue service as it should be. So you won't think that these agencies have revenue targets. That's why they are harassing you. They will focus on their job. The tax agencies will pursue the collection of revenue.
So the tax reform bills are a plus.
They're a plus, definitely, to this country, and we need it as soon as possible. But we need to face the reality that we need to improve on our tax generation. And increasing the tax net does not mean that the government is increasing taxes. It only means that the government is bringing people that have not been paying tax all this while into the tax.
All right. This next story, I broached it in passing, but it's here in the New Telegraph. Canada, 11 people killed as car plows into street festival crowd.
You know, there's been a lot.
Capture the.
I think over the Easter holiday, something like that. Was it Benny or something? Something like that happened, where they said it was an accident where somebody were driving a truck drove into
a crowd
during the Easter procession. There are a whole lot of radicalization going on all over the world.
Or more succinctly, more sick people.
Yes, more sick people
moving around,
and you know, there's it's an information.
Yeah.
You have to watch the information or news that you are consuming.
To me, the driver, a 30-year-old, certainly must be demented, if you ask me.
Well, in our own normal parlance, local parlance, he's not the only one operating. There are a whole lot of.
So now somebody send them.
No,
nobody send them.
Not that somebody sent. What I'm saying is, you know, there must be a whole lot of spirits in him.
Okay.
I mean, encouraging him in
spirits beyond those
that we can see
inside a bottle.
Inside the bottle.
Okay. Here is first quarter 2025. Oil producing states earnings up to 13%. 13% earnings up by 15.3% to 393.93 billion.
So when you look at the projections of doom and everything, states are earning maybe 3 times what they are earning from federal allocation. We are now reading reports
and for oil producing states, that's a different kettle of fish.
It's a different kettle of fish. The results that have been released by blue chip companies are showing improvement in their profit. So I've also read argument of people saying the naira value has dropped, so that's why. But notwithstanding, we can't say people are declaring profit because naira value has gone down. They have also increased sales. We need to tell ourselves this truth so that we do not, because if you keep selling doom, a whole lot of people get fixated on that and opportunities are passing them by.
And each time anybody does that, he or she is demarketing the company.
Yes, even demarketing their own success. And sometimes it's also, I think, in my own opinion, a trick by people that are making money to hide those opportunities away for a lot of people that can't think for themselves. The distributors of most of these manufacturing companies in Nigeria that are declared impressive results have also benefited because they are the one through which the product of those companies are being sold.
Okay.
Now, increase in earning for oil producing states, increase in their federal allocation. People should now start asking their state governors, especially those in the oil producing states, what are you doing with the increase revenues that you are getting?
You are earning, okay. Here, I wonder how you react to this one. Army, it's a crime for civilians to wear military uniform.
Well,
straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward, because because of the peculiarities of Nigeria. We must admit to ourselves that there are so many things wrong with us. People who wear police uniform. People are wearing DSS uniform, EFCC's uniform to go and commit crime. So if that is what entails, what obtains in the society, it's better to just remove that opportunity away. People will argue, I can wear my camo in Canada. Nigeria is not Canada. The society is different. The discipline of the citizens of Canada is not the same as the discipline of the people or of the citizens of Nigeria. So when you are in Rome, you behave like France. In Nigeria, because of these things, maybe one is not affected. No fake policeman or fake EFCC man or fake military man has accosted one before. So one can say, but for the people that are falling victim of such evil
parents watching this show to tell their kids, wards, partners, it is a crime to wear military uniform.
In Nigeria.
The army has made it a crime now. So do not say we didn't tell you. Okay, here it is. I want
this kind of news over time, and I say it anytime I have the opportunity. Where are all the people behind these ghost workers? We've seen the report. How many people have been arrested for collecting these double salaries? Salaries are paid into people's bank accounts. We don't collect salary by cash.
You can track it.
So it can be tracked. Arrest the people coming to cash those payments and take them to court. That is the only way we can reduce. Because over every year, you will hear we caught also number of ghost workers. But it's not ghosts that is going to the bank to collect the cash.
To me, but do you see ghosts? I've not seen
one. I've not seen one too. So they should get the people collecting this money and take them to. It's when they arrest people collecting money from these accounts, they will in turn lead us to the people behind the cartel.
Okay. So you become a ghost boss. All right. The Nigerian Tribune is here, and the lead story is this. Tinubu's government making efforts to dismantle democratic foundations. Odinkalu, Odudu, Jinodu, 15 others warn.
Well, for me,
the riders warn against country's march towards one-party state. We didn't fight to end military dictatorship, only to enthrone civilian authoritarianism.
What they should do is call other parties to get their house in order. When the current president was
one,
nobody was talking about
it was just a
own what's it called? Belief growing his party. So let other parties grow their own parties. I just see this I just see these as
distractions?
Not distraction. Just the normal finding somebody to blame for our own mistakes. Why is PDP that used to have 31 governors? Why are they in disarray? The truth is somebody has said that his own personal ambition is greater than that of the party.
Well, have you not heard that the ruling party is responsible for the implosion in opposition parties?
So the ruling party is the one asking them to take themselves to court.
Me, I don't know.
The truth is these people need to just admit to themselves that they failed to organize their parties well. That is the truth. At the beginning of this year, what was in the news was coalition against the head meetings. People moved from APC to SDP. Democracy was not in danger because everybody is free to do what they want to do. If you cannot get your act together, ask yourself what you are doing wrong. Don't blame the federal government for your lack of vision.
Minor pieces in the Nigerian Tribune include this one. 50 billion end allowance. ASU is telling us we didn't rely on money released on paper.
Well,
if you get the gist.
Yes. We will know whether very soon whether it is released on paper or in real cash. But for me, and I'm just hoping that if the president can have the willpower to stop multiple forex rates, he should have the willpower to please give our university autonomy, so that the universities have autonomy does not mean that the government will stop funding them. The funding from government will now be just one of their source of income, because it is good to let our people in the Ivory Towers to run themselves. It's easy for them to come and be blaming the politicians running the country. Let them have autonomy to run the universities, and let us see how they can put to good use the knowledge that is in their data.
All right. Nigeria targets single-digit inflation, job creation, and global uncertainty. Minister Edu is telling me.
The way to get this done is to ensure that all stakeholders are moving along the same direction.
On the same page.
At the same page. Because there are a whole lot of policies in this country that are good for us. But propaganda and bad mouthing will let some people not key to it. For example, is the student law. When it was being mooted, there were a whole lot of
misgivings and so on, yeah.
Until it became reality, and then we noticed that a certain part of the country had collected that load before every other person now became this thing is, and then some section now started saying that they were being marginalized, whereas they did not apply for it. So instead of us focusing on the negative, like I said earlier, what are those policies on ground that we can tap in and benefit from?
All right, last but not least story from the Tribune. Nasima, OPS, worry over World Bank's 50% poverty projection for 2027.
They should not be worried about the projection. Like I said earlier, it's a projection.
Yeah.
What are your own plans against, what are your own projections for your country yourself? You operate in Nigeria. What are your own projections? What are your plans for achieving those projections? The World Bank has said his own. The World Bank will sit down in his office. It's not going to come to Nigeria.
It is doing its job.
It's doing its job. It's not going to come to Nigeria.
Own.
So let's do our own.
All right. The nation is here. And of course, the viewer must remember we are dealing with newspaper headliners on Biscon TV. The lead story in the nation. Shetima Ganduje governors to receive Oborevori into APC and all others. Yeah.
That's politics.
Delta agog for big political event of the year in Asaba. Okowa PDP leaders moved en masse.
So Okowa used to be the immediate vice presidential candidate of PDP. This should be serious concern. So instead of them coming onto the news of the pages of the newspapers, I said that they have held a series of meetings. What is happening? Why did Okowa leave? What can we do to forestall such occurrences again, instead of blaming the federal government for their woes? Until our parties start taking responsibilities for their own destiny, we are going to be having cross-carpeting all over the place.
All right. World Bank backs federal government job creation plan.
Like I said, those plans, if Nigerians do not interrogate it and find out how it can be beneficial to them. For example, there is registration going on for unemployed Nigerian youths. I've not really seen any, news about it, driving people to go and register. That registration will close, and we will still come and complain about no work. That is just one part. That is on the federal government part. What are respective states also doing to create jobs? How are they providing enabling environment to attract investors into their states to create jobs? So
Because
those are the things.
The Vanguard next. Here it is. Tinubu, the lead story. Tinubu to opposition. Don't blame me for inability to manage your affairs.
It's simple.
Says democracy not threatened.
It's simple. I mean, you cannot be blaming the president. This man was in opposition for more than 15 years, and he did not at any time blame the government of the day then for not allowing him to build his own political party. So the present oppositions cannot That's just reality.
Okay, but hear this one. We must resist one-party state agenda.
The only way to resist
Akinola or Dinkalu.
The only way to resist one-party state agenda is to organize yourself.
After all, we can do with a robust opposition.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But they are not robust. Just making noise all over the place.
Oborevori, Omo Agege, battle for Delta APC leadership.
Well, that is expected. Though I was also reading that the party has waded into that, but that is their own internal problem. Okay, one party state, and then the Delta state. This, of course, is IPOP. There's going to be leadership also, definitely.
The Guardian, next. The lead story. Solar panel import ban may trigger 150% price surge, worsen energy cost crisis.
Well, the explanation of the federal government about the solar panel plan is that they want to encourage local production.
Are you persuaded by that logic?
Not really, because I don't know the capacity, the local capacity that we have now for manufacturing solar panel. I think the government should allow a
level playing field.
Yes, and then still allow people to not ban outright, maybe increase the tariff on imported solar panel, so that people would have, in Nigeria we have these habits when government closes the border for certain people, they also take undue advantage of Nigeria. When the border was closed because of rice production, our rice farmers started hoarding their produce, and then the price went out of reach of the ordinary. And I think the government should have learned from that. Not total ban for me. Maybe increase the tariff on imported panels. Okay. And let's see how the local will take advantage of that and be giving cheaper solar panels to consumers. Once they become the sole provider, the Nigerian in them might just decide to start showing us something.
Of course, there is a picture story on the front page showing us the current solar industry snapshot. Study
but I don't think we have enough local capacity yet.
Okay.
To just soon, just like some people. Is it funny enough? Some middlemen might decide to go in there and buy from the producers and then mark it up in such a way that this projection of 150% price surge becomes a reality.
Okay. Take this one. Tompolo endorses Tinubu for second term, says Fubara will return.
That's the thing with politicians. Tompolo was a PDP man before. Today is the APC. Nigerian citizens should understand that most times politicians will follow their interests, and they don't have permanent enemies. So the man that you are supporting A against B today. Tomorrow A and B will become friends. We should look at those things. That what are governments at the federal government level, at the state level, what are the government's policies that I can tap in and better my life.
All right. Don't don military affairs. That is, don't wear military attire, rather. Army urges Nigerians. We talked about it earlier. Nigeria won't be great without agriculture, says Afeba Balola.
Well, we used to be very good in agriculture until we all decided that
we dropped the ball.
That is tie and suit that would pay us. And it is not a federal government. I keep saying this thing. It's not a federal government problem. Land is under the jurisdiction of state governments. What have they done with the Alibulas that are under?
Yeah. To me, I hope this is not out of sync with what we are saying here. If I mention that the second largest bitumen deposit in the world after Venezuela are in Ondo State.
And successive governments in those states have failed. Yes, you may not have the rights directly, but what stops Undo State floating a special purpose vehicle, creating a company that will get
Take advantage.
a mining license from the federal government to start developing
and exporting.
Yes.
But we prefer to import. So I'm on the same page with Afe Babalola here. NLC cancels May Day celebrations in Rivers and Edo.
But what are their reasons? Definitely, I hope it's not the state of emergency in Rivers. About Edo, I don't know what the issues are in Edo, but my suspicion is it might be because of the what's it called? The state of emergency in Rivers having an administrator.
Yeah, but does the NLC order the May Day celebrations in my Akwa Ibom state or your Osun state?
But what they can do is ask their members not to come out for parade that day.
Okay. Presidency, civil society.
They should have added Abuja to it too.
Okay. No, here is one. No cash above $10,000 must leave Nigeria without declaration. EFCC one.
Yeah, it's standard all over the world. You can't enter the United States. Once you have more than $10,000, you must declare it.
Yes.
So it's standard practice across the world. And ignorance is not an excuse. If you are caught with more than $10,000 undeclared, they would detain you.
The law will apply.
And it will apply.
Okay. Over 80 northern communities under ISWAP control, says the group.
Well, like you said earlier, the armed forces should either come out to debunk that or put into machinery to ensure that those 80 communities are cleared.
In a related story, Fulani headers get 48-hour ultimatum to leave Benue community.
You know, there is an untold story about these headers that we always discuss. The cows that these headers are tending belongs to locals. The locals employ these headers as what's it called? Tenders, rearers to their cows. So when you make this law, the big man that owns the cow are the ones that are going to circumvent those laws again. So we should stop playing politics with this thing. Let us address this matter. There is a Ministry of Livestock, and they are saying let's have
ranching.
So let's just start this thing on time.
I guess we have a choice.
Yeah.
The last but not least paper is the Daily Trust. The lead story. 15 months after, EFCC yet to release probe reports on Edu and Sadia. You are familiar with it.
And that's also a problem we have. We have breaking news. The media will report it, but subsequently the media don't follow up to give us a report of this. You might be shocked that probably the report is out, but maybe it's not juicy enough to make the front line. So because we need media to also, the media is important. This man was arrested. Let's still be getting reports of what is happening, and if nothing is happening, they should also report it that they are not. Otherwise,
otherwise you are talking about what is said in football. You kick and follow.
So that's it.
All right, minor pieces. Kwankwaso's political future in limbo as defections rock NNPP.
I'm sure Kwankwaso is on top of his political future. So, for me, I don't worry about what is happening to a politician. They will always sort themselves out. What I'm concerned about is what policies are there that I can tap into.
Yeah.
Kwankwaso will be okay.
Okay, Plateau communities pick pieces after deadly attacks.
I think the governor...
It should do more than just pick pieces.
The governor now should actually dust all those reports that are on his table and start implementation. That is the only way to bring an end to this recurring plateau incident.
And this crazy one, weeks to common entrance examinations. FCT teachers strike lingers.
Now, the report I was reading is that the fund has been released to the local government administrators or chairman in FCT, and they've been
six of them.
Yes, and they've been sat down on it and not remitted it. That's why
the strike is on.
Those local governments have no immunity. I expect that FCC
to me our problems
them.
Our problems are principally man-made.
It's man-made.
Yeah.
Because the FCC minister said the money has been released to them. I saw somewhere. The money has been released to these people. They are the ones that are yet to pay the workers.
Okay, hunger worsens in IDP camps as UN agencies cut operations. Because you remember President Trump started it.
Yes. So the preponderance of NGOs in Nigeria is also going to affect them because they are not getting funding anymore. And maybe now the state government will find a way to ensure that these IDPs can go back to their respective what's it called? Residents.
Okay, to me, let's apply the brakes here. But so we have shared headline stories with you. Go out there, get your favorite paper and papers, sort these stories, and don't rely much on gut reactions, please. Thank you. And we want to thank Tumi Olowe for co-anchoring.
Thank you for having me.
Until the next time, bye-bye now.
On Sunday, April 27, 2025, the OJ's Elders Forum hosted a memorable celebration in honor of Chief Tony Okoroji, chairman of the Copyright Society of Nigeria, COSON, recognizing him as a legendary musician and for his outstanding contributions to the Nigeria's creative industry. Chief Tony Okoroji, born on December 22, 1957, is a Nigerian musician, songwriter, record producer, author, and intellectual property advocate. rising to fame in the 1970s and 1980s with iconic hits such as Juliana and Oriaku. Chief Okoroji has held pivotal roles within the creative industry, notably serving as national president of the Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria, PMAN. A tireless champion of artists' rights, he founded the Copyright Society of Nigeria, COSON, pioneering several initiatives to strengthen copyright protections and improve royalty collections for music creators. He is also the founder of the Nigerian Music Awards and author of Copyright and the New Millionaires and On the Road to Change. An alumnus of Delta State University and the University of Lagos, Chief Okoroji continues to be a leading voice for the empowerment and protection of Nigerian artists. The evening, carefully curated by the OJ's Elders Forum, brought together a distinguished gathering of personalities, particularly from the entertainment industry. Among the eminent figures present were the convener of the Elders Forum, Chief Efyong Nyong, veteran actor and broadcaster Mr. Patrick Doyle, and distinguished Nollywood actor Mr. Segun Arinze. In his opening remarks, Chief Efyong Nyong gave an insightful overview of the forum's objectives and emphasized the significance of the evening's celebration, noting the immeasurable impact Chief Okoroji has made on the Nigerian music and entertainment landscape.
Here we are today to look at a pioneer of sort. I'll come to talk about him this will not be his citation, because his citation will be read differently. And so you can feel the reason, the why that we are here, why we have called all ourselves together to say, let's clean glasses. Let's say to this man, you have done well. You don't have to like him. You don't have to. You have to disagree with him, yes, it's within your rights to do so. You can do whatever, you can feel whatever way, but there are things that you cannot take away. The things that he has done well, the things that he has done positively, and the fact that lives have been impacted upon. And I think that deserves a greater measure of acknowledgement and respect.
The atmosphere was enlivened by stirring performances from an array of talented artists, including Righteous Man Irabo, OG, Austin the Water, P.S. Rowley, and the OJ's People of Possibilities, who serenaded the guests with delightful musical renditions.
I know Jehovah. Anytime they put my knees and pray, I know Jehovah see. I know Jehovah never fails. I know Jehovah never fails. Anytime they put my knees and pray, I know Jehovah heals. Anytime they put my knees and pray, I know Jehovah sees. Anytime they put my knees and pray, I know Jehovah heals. Anytime they put my knees, hey, I know Jehovah sees. Hey. By the rivers of Babylon,
a moving outpouring of tributes from close friends and associates of Chief Okoroji added an emotional depth to the evening.
I celebrate you. We look forward to the Master Blaster. I'm going to be one of the discussants at the symposium. I'll be at the church music, and of course, I already got my passport. As one of the 150 important Nigerians, I don't know how come I qualified for it, but I must thank my friend Chief Tony Okoroji. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Tony Okoroji, for me, is the epitome of morality and uprightness. The sort that you would not even see in many people who parade ecclesiastical credentials. So I am proud to say that Tony Okoroji, in the last, how many years of our friendship? At least, okay, he has been my friend, Timo, since 1990, thereabout. Abi? 1990, yes. 1990 thereabout. He has been my friend. Before then, I knew him before then, long before then. But he's been officially my friend since 1990. He has been my moral compass more than any other person, including bishops and apostles. So I recommend Tony Okoroji to you, a man of integrity and worth.
I pay my respect to you. I remember in 1990 when you walked into the studio with me and Kingsley Ogoro and said you were going to do the Nigerian Music Awards, and we were like, really? We're going to do Nigerian Music Awards, and we were very young then, and the belief you had in us, the belief you had in us that we could do it, and Yinka Davis, Solidarity, we're all emerging young stars at that time. And then you believed in us and asked us to do some songs. But looking back, what you've done for the Nigerian music industry has been so awesome, very, very awesome. And thank you for encouraging a lot of young musicians then who have grown to become masters of their own, including my very self standing here, for all the support you gave, talking to Dindisi about me, and so many things. We want to say thank you. We appreciate you.
The highlight of the evening was the presentation of a special award to Chief Tony Okoroji in recognition of his immense contributions to the Nigerian entertainment industry.
On behalf of the forum by OJs, I feel honored to present this special recognition award to Chief Tony Okoroji for his indelible contributions to the creative industry, the rights of musicians, and the entertainment sector. Congratulations, sir. Put your hand.
In his response, Chief Okoroji expressed profound gratitude to God and to the OJ's Elders Forum for the honor bestowed upon him.
I want to thank the man who has made this possible and supported the entertainment industry for year after year after year after year. Please put your hands together for... It doesn't take chief anymore. He answers Mr., but it doesn't matter. This Joe is not just an ordinary Joe. He's a Joseph. He's not your average Joe. He's a Joseph, true and true and true. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Further enlivening the celebration was a spirited presentation of gifts to the celebrant by the CMC Gladiators, led by its chairman, Cornelius Udofia. It was truly a night of heartfelt tribute, soulful music, and enduring memories in honor of a true icon of Nigerian music. On Friday, April 25th, 2025, the serene ambience of the Guiding Light Assembly Church in Ikoyi, Lagos, came alive as friends, family, dignitaries, and well-wishers gathered to witness the elegant and spirit-filled wedding ceremony, uniting Chizuru Uko and Piniel Okonkwo in holy matrimony. The groom, Piniel Okonkwo, is the illustrious son of Prince Donatus Okonkwo, billionaire businessman and chairman of the Tetrazini Group, and Princess Okonkwo. The beautiful bride, Chizuru Uko, is the cherished daughter of Sir Ikechi Uko, an esteemed international legal practitioner and business executive, and Lady Nnenna Uko. The atmosphere was filled with warmth and reverence as worshippers experienced a well-ordered service featuring a powerful exhortation, prayers, hymns, and moments of deep reflection. Notable dignitaries present at the church included the former governor of Delta State, Chief James Ibori, the former deputy governor of Lagos State, Otumba Dr. Femi Pedro, The highlight of the service included the giving away of the bride, the heartfelt exchange of vows and rings, and the pronouncement of Chizuru and Pinel as husband and wife.
With this ring, I be wed. I be wed. It is a sign of our marriage. It is a sign of our marriage. And a token of my love. And a token of my love. And fidelity to you. And fidelity to you. In the name of the Father. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And of the Holy Spirit. Amen. 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 With this ring, I be wed. I be wed. I give it to you. I give it to you as a sign of our marriage. As a sign of our marriage. It is a token of my love. It is a token of my love. And fidelity to you. And fidelity to you. In the name of the Father. In the name of the Father. And of the Son. And of the Son. And of the Holy Spirit. And of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The congregation rejoiced as the couple received blessings, prayers, and the Holy Communion, culminating in a vibrant thanksgiving and joyful recessional hymn. Following the church ceremony, the celebration moved to the luxurious Balmoral Hall at the Federal Palace Hotel, Victoria Island, where a grand reception unfolded in exquisite style. Among the distinguished personalities in attendance at the reception were His Excellency Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Executive Governor of Lagos State, Chief Ernest Ndukwe, Chairman of MTN Nigeria Communications PLC, who graciously served as the chairman of the occasion, Prince Bisi Olatilo, Chairman and CEO, Biscon Communications, and Chief Mrs. Stella Okoli, Founder, Emzo Pharmaceuticals, amongst others. The event commenced with a powerful opening prayer by Bishop Victor Uzosike, setting the tone for an unforgettable evening. The bride's family made a vibrant entrance to the melodious sounds of the Cool Eyes Band, followed closely by the groom's family in a procession of pomp and color.
Come on, give them. Let's bring it to the dance floor, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen. Somebody make some noise.
The electrifying high point of the evening was the majestic entrance of the newlyweds, Peniel and Chizuru, led by dashing groomsmen and an elegant bridal train, amidst cheers and applause.
Yes, I'm still on top, and my cup runneth over.
Finest couple. Finest couple. That is a wonderful dress. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this wedding dress.
Fast forward, no rewind.
Penny, you look amazing. Congratulations, buddy.
No be fine.
Bridal party. Bridal party. Are we ready to turn it on? Hey, I will be there still.
Across the border.
I will be there still.
Many go.
Come on, make some noise. Groomsmen, make some noise.
Anywhere money there, they call me.
Make some noise.
Across the border. I will be there still.
Let's go.
With masterful coordination by MCs Chi-Girl and Rodrigo, guests were treated to a seamless blend of heartfelt moments and exciting entertainment. The ceremonial cutting of the cake was accompanied by romantic fireworks, followed by a loving tribute and toast from Omachi Uko, sister of the bride and maid of honor.
Give me an E. Give me an S. Give me a U. And another S. What does it spell?
The best man, Prince, delivered an emotional reflection on his enduring friendship with the groom, lauding his generosity and praising Chizuru, his wife, as a stunning woman with a heart of gold. The couple's first dance was a captivating sight, followed by a joyous dance from their parents, family, and friends.
Oh, it seems like they're in heaven. It's Cheesy and Peniel, ladies and gentlemen, in their moment, enjoying their moment every step of the way this evening. We love it. We love it for them. That's what I love the most. The conversations they have during the dance. Absolutely amazing. Like we did it. Hey. So much chemistry, ladies and gentlemen. So much chemistry. Chizuru is a step out. She's just playing it down for us. I know, I see.
In a warm congratulatory address, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu extolled the couple's union as divinely orchestrated, describing them as a near-perfect match with a remarkable connection.
You've taken our time to
learn what each other would want. Because I was watching even the simple game that we just exercised now. It goes to show that there's communication. And if anything, that's one of the things you need. And it also goes to show that you've taken time to understand one another. Well, I mean, so from today, you know, also all of real things will happen. But I know with all of the shock absorbers that you have, you will certainly make a perfect couple. Well, also a very near perfect couple, because I mean, but you know how it is. With all of the bumps and tops, you will make it work. Because once you continue to communicate, once you continue to ensure that even if there's issues, you don't let the sun come up before you talk about it. And I can see it. You know, I know Pennell, with all of his, you know, he will certainly take care of you. He will. So on behalf of the big Okonkwo family, you know, the Okonkwo family is such a big family. I'm sure they're truly excited that you have added onto them. You know, you will be bringing joy, happiness, prosperity, you know, babies, kids, you know, into them. And of course, your own family too are very excited that they're handing you over to a worthwhile family. So we want to thank God for you, your lives. We want to pray that, you know, as we have seen the beginning of this wedding here today, we'll never hear any negative news. Nothing will happen that you say that I'm tired. It's a ceremony that they don't pass out from. You just hold the certificate and you don't want to graduate out of it. God bless you. It's nice to be here with you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Chief Ernest Ndukwe, chairman of the occasion, shared words of wisdom, heartfelt blessings, and fatherly advice for the journey ahead.
Here's wishing you plenty of good things in future. You'll continue to grow from strength to strength. Marriage, in fact, I was a bit more emotional when you people were taking your vows, because that's the first step in the union. You people must not forget those words that you people agreed to today. Make sure you continue to live well together, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, because both of you would need each other very much. And once there's love, you will conquer. Congratulations, and God bless you all.
In a unique twist, the traditional bouquet toss included not only the bridal train, but also the groomsmen, a fun and memorable moment that delighted the guests. The night then escalated into a carnival of music, dance and celebration as Cool Eyes Band and a top-tier DJ provided a pulsating soundtrack that kept the dance floor alive. Friday, April 25th, 2025, Empress Seun Aransiola marked her 50th birthday with an unforgettable celebration in Magodo, Lagos, bringing together a remarkable gathering of family, friends, and distinguished guests. Known as a trailblazer in Nigerian gospel music, Empress Seun, who hails from Omuaran in Kwara State, has dedicated over 2 decades to the music industry. Her unique sound and unwavering passion for Afro-gospel music have established her as one of the foremost female voices in the genre. A former chairperson of the Lagos State chapter of the Association of Juju Musicians of Nigeria, AJUMN, she played a pivotal role in promoting the genre and supporting its growth. Empress Seun also brings a wealth of academic qualifications in accounting, public administration, and project management, reinforcing her professional acumen and leadership in the creative space. The event drew an impressive array of notable personalities from various sectors, showcasing the widespread admiration and respect she commands. Among the dignitaries in attendance were Mr. Mayo Akinpelu, publisher of Global Excellence, who served as the chairman of the occasion, alongside Mr. Ambrose Shomide, CEO of Smells Radio, and Honorable Kate Banjoko, among many others. Vibrant music entertainment, of course, came from Empress Seun herself, as her band brought the house down with lively melodies, creating an electric atmosphere. The ceremony kicked off with an opening prayer led by Apostle Bamidele Iluyomade, setting the tone for a day filled with joy, gratitude, and celebration. Heartfelt tributes poured in from the celebrant's family, friends, and well-wishers, each reflecting on her remarkable journey.
So I want to say congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. Gbàdúrà táwọn bàbá wọn wòlíì tí wọ́n ti gbà akọni lórí o ó ti di 50 báyìí wàá di 60 wàá di 70 wàá di 80 kò wá sí bó ṣe lè pẹ́ láyé tó kó o ní wọn sàré ọmọ ẹrù tí abiyamọ kì í dì ẹrù tí abiyamọ kì í tú wọn ní jù síwájú ilé ọ ayé ò ní tẹ̀ ìgbésẹ̀ ògbẹ́wẹ̀ ọ ò ní kọsẹ̀ lára ayé.
She's very painstaking. She's very honest. And she's always ready to learn and accept where she has actually come. As far as the work and the job is concerned, she loves meeting deadlines. And I'm not surprised today that all the accolades that people are actually going for now, I'm not surprised. I want to say that she, as we got 50 today, the Almighty God will continue to guide you, will continue to guide you, and whatever you lay your hands on shall continue to be prosperous. Congratulations and happiness together.
And I know she will still continue to go until she gets to the very, very top. The sky is just the beginning for you. And I pray that the Lord who has brought you this far will take you further. In Jesus' name. Thank you.
When I was at my lowest, when I didn't even know I'll get to where I am today, she assured me that Ṣé máa fún mi ní bàtà? Ó máa fún mi láṣọ. Ó máa fún mi ní bra. Ó máa fún mi ní jewelry. And I'm not joking about this. She has always been there for me. She, thank you so much. I appreciate and love you. Gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣe kò lọ lásán. Wàá jèrè lágbára Ọlọ́run. Mi ò bẹ̀rẹ̀ white. Thank you. God bless you.
Sean, well, everyone has talked about Sean, actually has spoken about Sean's characteristics of being trained. It's like that. And Sean is a born bearer. But we talk about her and about her personality. All I was saying, representing CNS College as a whole, to wish you the very long life improvement. Happy birthday. Congrats.
As the evening unfolded, fervent prayers were offered for the celebrant by her parents, with her father delivering a deeply emotional speech filled with pride and affection for his daughter, evoking a sense of warmth and unity among the guests. A highlight of the event was the grand cutting of the guests, family and friends.
90, 92, 99, 100, 102, 5, 110, 120, 130, 40, 50. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Happy birthday to you. And the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you.
Celebration of her life and legacy.
Senior special prophet, Doctor, senior special apostle prophet, Doctor, essay, and I'll see you now. Funny to be your baby, Mosuraya, your baby. We're married to say a big
our chairman. The chairman of COSOM and the patron of CMC is in the building. Chief Tony Okoroji in the building. And of course, too, on the COSOM chairman entourage, we have a very Nollywood star actress in the building. Come on, let us see you. Give me a smile. Cassie in the building. Anyway, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today is Tom, a man that has been fighting for the rights of the artists in Nigeria, and of course, he has been doing so well. Our former chairman of PMAN, the patron of CMC Gladiators, a man that no man can push it. High Chief Tony Okoroji in the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the chairman of COSOM. I'm talking about Chief Tony Okoroji. Please put your hands together, keep clapping as he comes. It's not easy to be a legend. Keep clapping as he comes with his entourage. As you can see, a young man, a youthful man.
Down the bay with a nice gate, and the sun shines daily on the mountain top. I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a song, but I'm sad to say I'm on my way. We'll be back for many a days. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I have to leave the little girl in the town. Down the marketplace, you can see all the guys running through all around the street. There's a guy in Mexico in the back, get me a dose. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I have to leave a little girl in the town, but I'm sad to say I'm on my way. I'll be back for many days. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I have to leave a little girl in the town. There is an island in the sun. Yes, it's good and skipping on. All my days are skipping on. I have to keep down again. Oh, an island in the sun. Talk to me, get on far inside. All my days are in you, so I leave to the guy inside his farm. Oh, an island in the sun. Talk to me when I'm far inside. Down the bay when the nights are gay and the sun on a sailing ship, and when I looked to Jamaica, I made a stop, but I start to say I'm on my way. You'll be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is on the line. I have to raise a little girl with the guitar. Now to go on my way, you'll be back to down.
Here at OJ's. This is the forum, and the forum has been put together by us here at OJ's in collaboration with a whole lot of other people and friends who are not here today, to ensure that we celebrate ourselves while we are still strong, while our feet and legs can still carry us. Just 3 days ago, Referees Association, Alhaji Tade Aziz, I was in Calabar when I was told, when I saw the picture, Tade is still a very young man, into the administration of football, as a member of the Lagos State Football Association, joined the referees at the topmost level and became president of the referees body in Nigeria. Very energetic, good-looking and all. I went off that news item, looked for another news item, checked on Facebook, I still saw the picture, I refused to read it. Just imagining that somehow that story will not be true. Or maybe it was a joke, or maybe it's a stunt. In these days where content, people that want to monetize content can monetize anything. I started imagining that maybe there's this monetization that has Tade as part of it. But behold, in truth, my friend Tade Aziz was gone. He was not celebrated, especially in this time, and hugely temperamental. But Tade was gone. So here at OJ's, at the forum, we decided, of course, we used to know this is not really new. It used to be the elders forum of old. But the rejuvenation came and we decided to make it a thing of the young, the old, the mixed, everybody celebrating people while we can and when they are still strong and alive. So when we play music, they can still dance. Not when they play music, they can only nod and smile. We want them to not just smile, but dance. So we celebrated the High Commissioner for Nigeria, the iconic comedian Ali Baba. Then we celebrated our own chairman, OJ's himself, who's done so much piloting this in over 20 years and given motivation still. After that, we celebrated, and we are glad we did. He's over 80 and still moves around. And we believe that while he's still able to move around, why not celebrate him so he can be sure that here on earth, we appreciate him here in Nigeria in the industry of entertainment and the creatives. Then we celebrated Lemi Garioku. You will see all of those fellas' albums, Lady, Shakara, Ikoyi Blindness, and all. Those beautiful pieces of art done by Lemi Garioku from the 70s. And in fact, it was his 50th year of being in the art. An interesting aspect was that Lemi didn't go to any formal art school. Sheer creativity. And we are glad that we celebrated him here at the forum. He wasn't alone. We also celebrated Inidan, another creative artist, an educationist, if you like, that keeps promoting the art. And just last month, we had Patrick Doyle. He was here, and we thought that we should also veer into broadcasting and all. But here we are today to look at a pioneer of sort. I'll come to talk about him this will not be his citation. because his citation will be read differently. And so you can feel the reason, the why that we are here, why we have called all ourselves together to say, let's clean glasses. Let's say to this man, you have done well. You don't have to like him. You don't have to. You have to disagree with him. Yes, it's within your rights to do so. You can do whatever, you can feel whatever way, but there are things that you cannot take away. The things that he has done well, the things that he has done positively, and the fact that lives have been impacted upon. And I think that deserves a greater measure of acknowledgement and respect. People of, what's it called now? People of possibilities. The band that played earlier here is an OJ's project. It's a project we believe in. People that have possibilities, physically challenged. Every one of them has one challenge or the other, or handicap if you like. But we feel that there has to be a way to give back to humanity. There has to be a way to celebrate these individuals who may not be as opportune as the rest of us. So that band is put together and was brought here to serve. They opened the show this evening, and we will come back to do a tune or so, or a tune or two, so we can better also, those that were not here at the time, can get to appreciate. I want Chief Tony Okoroji to see them, so that we see what opportunities can we open, what doors can we open to them. I'll tell you one thing, when they performed here in November, and Ali Baba saw them, he was moved to say, this band must play at my January 1st concert that holds at the Eco Hotel and Suites. Of course, the band went, performed, and were gifted a Toyota Venza by Ali Baba. I thought we would clap for that. Not just clapping for the band that's able to achieve such a feat, but that they touched the spirit of Ali Baba issue. We didn't know he took that to heart, and his response was gifting the band a vehicle, a motor car, if you like. So that band performed here, and they'll be back to do that again. And of course, the OJ's band here will also perform some more. We also have a few side attractions. Austin the Water is here. He'll be giving you some more vibe as away from the main act to let us feel this evening. I'd like to welcome all of us here, to say welcome, thank you for coming. The evening is about to begin. The band will take over now, and all right, they say they are here. Of course, you can see the melodious tunes. The cripple can get on his feet. Yeah, that's Richard Cole for you. Long time, still keeping strong. And I was glad that I saw my friend today. I've not seen him in maybe 25 years or more. And he was one of the early birds that came in here. I'm talking about Pastor Amos McRojeg. Yeah, if you know reggae music and you know the industry, dating back to 30 years ago and plenty, 35 years ago, then you will know, you will have come across Amos McRoy. And of course, Colonel Udofia and the CMC people, they never leave each other. They go like Siamese, holding themselves everywhere they go. Colonel, you are welcome. I recognize you. I recognize you here with us, sending his crew. Olumide, you are welcome, and the crew from Biscon Communications. And of course, the OJ's media is also well represented here. Ambassador P. London, the comedian that just left the stage, he is also one of us, and of course doing great things. I want to salute my friend and partner, Levimas Atafo, Kashif House of Ideas. You see, Tunde Danisa has a way of digging deep and making visuals, making videos that make a whole lot of sense, that gets to promote this event. So the next time you have an event to promote, come to us at OJ's, and we'll put that event together for you in terms of promotion, in terms of articulation, and getting the world to see it using our various platforms. If Young is my name, and I say welcome.
so na bigi gota na yo, so me alata na yo, so na bigi gota na yo, so me alata na yo. Na so asiamo. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Maybe Jesus and money. Maybe Jesus and money. Money. If you let's go, let's go, let's go. 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 Let's go, Jesus and money. Let's go, Jesus and money. Money, money, money. Money, 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 money. It's full of pesos. It's full of pesos. Let's full of pesos. Let's full of pesos. Let's money. Let's money. Money. Are you ready now? When Jesus said yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. Yes. Chief, my boss. When Jesus says yes, no man can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus opened the door, no man can shut the door. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. Make you listen, my brother. My God is a God of wonder. Put your trust in the Father, rather searching for one another. You know, say this life is a ladder. We need God to take us further. Life is not bread and butter. With God everything go better. Surrender your worries to the Father. Him alone can show the winning way. You must be strong as a leader. All your enemies go stronger. And when they throw a song, I say, run to the sender. When I want you to don't bother, take it to yonder to God in prayer. When Jesus says yes, oh, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus lifts you up, no man can bring you down. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. So everybody up, Jesus. Yes.
Thank you for joining us again on Biscon Television News. I'm Stella Papa. Coming up in the news, activist urges Delta governor to industrialize the state through agriculture and aquaculture. Kwara pilgrims to begin Hajj journey May 12. In business news, 50 kg bag of rice drops to 58,000 naira amid imports from Benin. On the foreign scene, India-Pakistan tensions escalate after deadly Kashmir attack. And in sports, Man United in advanced talks to sign Matteo Cunha. Now the news in full. Prominent Niger Delta environmental advocate and traditional ruler, Chief Mulade Sheriff, has urged Governor Sheriff Oborowari of Delta State to urgently pursue industrialization by leveraging the state's vast agricultural and aquacultural resources. In a statement released in Warri, Mulade emphasized that Delta is blessed with fertile land and abundant marine resources that can transform it into a major food production hub. He pointed out that global best practices now focus on using natural resources to drive infrastructural growth. job creation and sustainable wealth for citizens, and that Delta should not be left behind. He called on the state government to adopt a pragmatic, agro-based industrialization strategy to tackle unemployment, food insecurity and poverty, especially among women and youths. Malade maintained that proper investment in agriculture and aquaculture would not only diversify Delta's oil-reliant economy, but also reduce wastage of idle manpower. He added that such economic expansion could generate exports and revenue, ultimately positioning Delta as a pace-setting state in food production and youth empowerment. Away from that, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has slammed the Labour Party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi, for making what he termed disparaging remarks about Nigeria during a recent event at Johns Hopkins University in the United States. In a strongly worded statement, Sanwo-Olu stated that national figures who spoke on global platforms should promote the country positively, even while holding the government accountable. He said that these comments painted Nigeria in a negative light, which he believes does a disservice to the country and undermines patriotic responsibility. Sanwo-Olu also challenged Obi's credibility to criticize the government by referencing what he described as Obi's lackluster tenure as governor of Anambra State. He claimed that poverty increased under Obi's leadership, while crediting President Bola Tinubu with significantly reducing poverty during his time as Lagos governor. Citing data, Sanwo-Olu argued that Obi left Anambra in a worse economic state and that it took his successor to lower the poverty rate drastically. He concluded by questioning who really holds the moral ground to critique governance, framing the conversation as one between results and rhetoric. Moving on, the Kwara Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board has announced that the first group of Nigerian pilgrims to this year's Hajj will depart on May 12th from Ilorin International Airport, with additional groups leaving on May 14, 16, and 17. Executive Secretary of the Board, Abdulsalam Abdul Qadri, made this known during a sensitization program in Ilorin, where he also disclosed that all 2,174 intending pilgrims from the state have received their visas. He assured that accommodations and catering services in Saudi Arabia are fully arranged ahead of the journey. Abdul Qadir noted that preparations are in their final stages, with vaccine distribution scheduled for April 28, uniforms on April 30, and travel bags on May 1st. He also revealed that pilgrims who paid over 8.4 million naira for Hajj fees would receive refunds after the exercise. The sensitization session featured lectures from religious leaders, including the Grand Qadi of the Kwara Sharia Court of Appeal, who urged the faithful to perform their pilgrimage with reverence, patience, and a strong sense of spiritual discipline for a rewarding Hajj experience. You're watching Biscon TV News. Business news comes up shortly. Welcome back now to business news. The price of a 50 kg bag of rice in Nigeria has dropped significantly to as low as 58,000 naira in some regions, largely due to a flood of rice imports through neighboring Benin Republic. This development follows India's removal of export duties on parboiled rice, which has led to a massive influx of cheaper rice into West Africa, particularly affecting the regional rice markets. As warehouses in Benin become overstocked, Nigerian markets, especially border communities, are experiencing lower prices, with some areas recording rice sales below 50,000 naira. Despite the price drop, demand has not surged, as buyers remain cautious, anticipating further decreases. The Nigerian Customs Service continues to face an uphill battle against rice smuggling, as imported rice continues to dominate the market, despite the federal government's official ban. Analysts say while consumers might benefit in the short term, the situation could harm local rice farmers and the country's agricultural goals. The price crash also highlights the ongoing tension between food affordability and national self-sufficiency policies. Up next is foreign news. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now to foreign news. Now, tensions between India and Pakistan have intensified following a deadly attack in the Indian-administered Kashmir region, which left 26 civilians dead. In response, Indian authorities demolished the homes of at least 10 alleged militants and detained over 1,500 people in sweeping investigations. India has accused Pakistan of supporting the attackers, although it has not officially named any responsible group. Pakistan denies any involvement. The incident, which took place near the popular tourist town of Pahalgam, marks the deadliest civilian attack in the area in 2 decades. The aftermath had seen a breakdown in key diplomatic and treaty relations between the two nuclear-armed nations. India suspended the Indus Waters Treaty, and Pakistan retaliated by halting the similar agreement, raising fears of a new round of hostilities. Hundreds of Pakistani nationals have been expelled from India, and the line of control has seen consistent gunfire exchanges in recent days. While international powers urge restraint, Prime Minister Modi vowed to bring the attackers to justice, intensifying rhetoric in a region already on edge. We're watching Biscon Television News. Coming up next is Sports News. Welcome back to Biscon TV News, now to sports news. Manchester United is in the final phase of negotiations to sign Brazilian striker Matheus Cunha from Wolverhampton Wanderers. According to football journalist Fabrizio Romano, the Premier League giants have been in talks for over a week and are now ironing out final contract details. Cunha, who reportedly has a £62.5 million release clause, is said to be enthusiastic about joining United's project and has already agreed in principle to personal terms. The transfer, if finalized, would strengthen Manchester United's attacking lineup ahead of the new season.